Seemingly coming out of nowhere, the world instantly fell in love with Jennifer Lawrence. Her acting was intense, while her interviews were quirky. It could be argued that no other actress dominated the 2010s the way she did, with multiple high-profile films released each year. And now, as the 2020s are in full swing and her output is slowing down somewhat, we ask that ever-important question: what the f*** happened to Jennifer Lawrence? But to truly understand what the f*** happened to Jennifer Lawrence, we must begin at the beginning, and the beginning began when she was born on her birthday, 1990, Kentucky, USA. Young Lawrence would begin grabbing small roles on several TV shows, like Monk. She played a cougar, but not that kind, she's a mascot, before landing the role of Bill Engvall's daughter on the TBS sitcom The Bill Engvall Show in 2007. Running for 3 seasons, Lawrence would receive high praise from those critics who would call her a scene stealer. The following year, she would make her feature film debut in the low-budget film Garden Party in 2008, before winning the Outstanding Performance Award from the Los Angeles Film Festival for the film Poker House, also in 2008. She would end that year, 2008, by playing a young Charlize Theron in the much-maligned film The Burning Plain. However, those critics would say that Jennifer Lawrence was the lone standout in the film. Go, Jennifer, go. And then came the year 2010, and so began the decade of Lawrence, kicking things off by starring in the film Winter's Bone, which could have just been some little scene coming-of-age backwoods drama starring an actress that you may recognize from a TBS sitcom, but in the hands of Jennifer Lawrence and the talented filmmakers who made this, it became an award season breakout hit when it nabbed 4 Academy Award nominations, including Best Actress for Jennifer Lawrence, making her, at just over 20 years old, the second youngest Best Actress nominee ever. And she truly deserved it. This is an amazing, dark, gritty film. Yeah, Winter's Bone, it chills you to the bone. And when you're watching this, you're like, yeah, who is this young lady? She better become a superstar. And you know what? Yeah, she did. Wow. The year 2011 would see Jennifer Lawrence appear in a small yet memorable role in a beautiful film called Like Crazy, opposite the late great Anton Yelchin, who Lawrence would reminisce about in that documentary about the actor that came out in 2019. She would follow up her appearance in Like Crazy by appearing in the Jodie Foster-directed, Mel Gibson-starring Beaver movie. Not that kind, or that kind. This movie, The Beaver, has been made fun of over the years, rightfully so because of its title and its fairly ridiculous premise. Yet, for those who have actually seen this movie, it's kind of an excellent examination on dealing with depression. Of course, the film was released when Mel Gibson was persona non grata, so nobody wanted to watch this, but Jennifer Lawrence is good in it. To finish out that year, 2011, Jennifer Lawrence, who had just been nominated for an Oscar, was the talk of the town, so what do? You go do a superhero movie. Find some big franchise, and that's exactly what she did when she was cast as young Mystique in XMen First Class, which is kind of like a reboot, remake, sequel, prequel. I don't know, whatever it is, it was pretty good. Except for that scene where they pick their names, it's kind of cringy as F. And that F, it stands for f***. But X-Men First Class paved the way for an even better sequel, /crossover /prequel, whatever. X-Men Days of Future Past in 2014. She would play this character 2 more times, in X-Men Apocalypse in 2016, and Dark Phoenix in 2019. But we don't talk about those in these parts, because they weren't good. And you can tell through the progress of this franchise, as Jennifer Lawrence got more famous and more famous, she would become powerful enough to demand less and less makeup. I don't know, I could always feel that Jennifer Lawrence kind of regretted being a mutant. But Jennifer, you should be proud of who you are.
Perfection.
Let's go back to the year 2012. Yeah, that year 2012 would be a banner year for the still young Jennifer Lawrence, or J-Law, as some of the cool people call her. It's like J-Lo, but with a law. J-Law. It has a nice ring to it. Anyway, J-Law would launch 2012 by starring as Katniss Everdeen in the nearly $700 million grossing big screen adaptation of The Hunger Games, also known as the Running Man Royale with Cheese Games, for a Twilight audience. And like I said, it was clear to anyone who had watched Winter's Bone that this actress was destined for greatness. And it was clear to anyone who had read the books Hunger Games and saw Winter's Bone that J-Law was the absolute best choice for the role. And she would prove that by winning several awards for her performance and launching a film franchise that grossed just under $3 billion, that's a billion with a B, dollars worldwide. With those sequels catching fire, which is still to this day her highest grossing film, and the split in two Hunger Games Mockingjays Part 1 and 2 in 2014 and 2015. And yeah, I'm not exactly the target audience for these films, but I liked the first one alright. She was good. It was good. I didn't really feel the need to keep up with the franchise. I was like, yeah, I'm good. Let's move on, but I understand, and I'm proud of her. These are interesting films. They just got a little too popular, I guess, and I'm just... whatever, they're good. Of course, when you launch one of the biggest franchises in recent memory, you have only one place to go. Up! She could pretty much do anything she wanted at this point. Hollywood was hers to control and take over, but first she had to do a horror movie called House on the End of the Street. But then she got her career up, back and going again, because Jennifer Lawrence would finish out the year 2012 by winning an Academy Award for her lead performance in David O. Russell's Silver Linings Playbook, playing the kind of role that you would expect her to play, a strong woman who everyone thinks has gone off the deep end, but in reality she's just as insane as the rest of us. And for my money, this film has some of the best chemistry we have seen on film in recent memory. Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, they're just wonderful together. Excuse me, J-Law. Bradley Cooper and J-Law are wonderful together. B-Coop and J-Law. J-Law would reunite with director David O. Russell 2 more times for the next couple of years in American Hustle and Joy, both of which would garner Jennifer Lawrence Academy Award nominations, because she's really damn good in them. Everybody loved these movies at the time. They're still pretty good. After appearing opposite Bradley Cooper again in the underseen and not very good Sirena in 2014, and she would provide her vocal talent to the IMAX documentary A Beautiful Planet in 2016. Also in that year, 2016, Lawrence would star alongside Chris Pratt in the sci-fi film Passengers. Critics universally praised the performances and the chemistry of the two leads, but found the story lacking. J-Law said that she was very proud of the film, but she felt that a different edit could have been very beneficial. A different story structure, just rearrange things a little bit, and it works, especially how her character wakes up in the film. Some people have called this film very creepy. Miss Lawrence would be nominated for Best Actress at the Saturn Awards, and then Passengers would just kind of fade into oblivion. Then, in 2017, Jennifer Lawrence would star in director and then boyfriend Darren Aronofsky in the mind F of a movie, Mother. And that F, it stands for f***. And yeah, when watching this movie, I could not take my eyes off the screen. But that's not because it's good or anything, because it's disturbing as F, and you know what, that F, it stands for f***. The symbolism and the themes of this film are a little on the nose and way intense. But it is interesting to guess where the story's going, or what it is you're watching, but the performances, especially Jennifer Lawrence, are absolutely mesmerizing and haunting. The film Mother was so divisive that it received both boos and a standing ovation when it premiered at the Venice Film Festival, and has an F cinema score. Mother would also nab Jennifer Lawrence a nomination for Worst Actress at the Razzies. Yeah, Mother is a confusing movie. It's like a really good movie, but it's also like horrible hot garbage at the same time. So I really understand the split here. Love it or hate it. 2008 would see Jennifer Lawrence appear in the Russian spy film Red Sparrow. The film would receive a lot of press for the fact that Jennifer Lawrence decided to appear nude in the film for the first time. This was no decision made lightly by the actress, but one that was made as a direct result of when in 2014 private pictures she had taken for her then boyfriend were stolen and released on the internet for the world to see. The leaked photos made Jennifer Lawrence feel extremely violated and unsafe. So when it came time to make this film, Red Sparrow, she said that she embraced the nudity because it was her decision, and in a way she felt like she was back in control of things. But unfortunately, Red Sparrow would prove to be another underwhelming endeavor for the actress, with her winning the Alliance of Women Film Journalists Award for Actress in Most Need of a New Agent. Ouch! At this time, Jennifer Lawrence decided she needed a break. She was getting burnt out from working so hard, and the resulting films, at least in the last few years, had left her feeling unsatisfied. Hollyweird is a nasty place, and she had kinda had enough. Of course, sometimes when you want a break, that one project comes along and you can't pass it up. And for JoBlo, it was the opportunity to work with director Adam McKay in the film Don't Look Up in 2021. The film itself would receive mixed reviews. Some love it, some hate it. I guess that's what mixed means. It's one of those movies that will get nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, but be rotten on that tomato website. But everyone had high praise for JoBlo's performance. She would even nab a Golden Globe nomination for lead actress, back when you were allowed to care about the Golden Globes. Lawrence's personal life had become the source of tabloid fodder for the better part of 10 years. Her public relationships were always splashed across the front pages, so Jennifer Lawrence decided to step away from the limelight. Not only did she want a break from acting, but just a break from public life in general. She was no longer hungry for those games. But then, when you least expect it, good things come, and she would meet an art gallery director named Cook Maroney. The two would embark on the adventure of marriage in October of 2019, and welcome their first child together in 2022. Hey, that's this year! Oh, so that's what the happened to her. I had no idea. She has a baby. These what the they're really educational sometimes. So yeah, what the happened to the mother actress? Well, she became a mother. Jennifer Lawrence became the biggest actress on the planet in what seems like record time. You know, one of those overnight success things that took like years. This was due to both her talent and her natural, charismatic personality. Yet, with that type of rise in Hollywood, you sometimes lose yourself a bit in the process. And it seems like JoBlo just stopped to look around and take a step back from all this crazy American hustle bustle that is show business. And eventually, she did find what she was looking for, and that turned out to be a family. She has done the work. Jennifer Lawrence could not make a movie for another 20 years, and when she came back, she would still be one of the biggest stars on the planet, because for 10 years, she did nothing but dominate in film after film. Like a real-life Katniss, oh my god, OMG, WTF! But she ain't done yet, don't you worry. We still have plenty to look forward to from this talented young actress, as she's working on like 4 new movies as we speak. And I'm sure they'll be the best movies ever made. So yeah, nobody should give a about what the happened to Jennifer Lawrence, because she's doing just fine.